Armand, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Test, test, test audio for Miami Lakes. Test, test, test audio for Miami Lakes. Hey, Danny.
What's up, man?
Hey, quick question. We're streaming already. Do you need to be on video or you're gonna be hidden?
So I'm at the office right now, and it's docking, and I need my screen, so I think I'm gonna be hidden for as long as possible.
So you don't need to be showing on the meeting. You're gonna be in listening mode.
No, and I'm gonna be speaking as well too.
Oh, okay, okay. So I'm gonna leave your screen on. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Danny.
Herman, why is
Yes,
my
sir.
picture gone away?
Your picture. I don't see you. Let me see.
Is that what it
I
is?
just sent you.
I just did that with Melissa now.
Yeah, no, I was talking about my picture.
Perfect. You can be the face for us. We're all gonna go
Yeah.
on
The
video.
only way to have your picture is if you're using the app. So even you're on your computer, if you start from the app, you can put your picture while you're in stop video. If
Got
you're
it.
browsing, it won't show it.
All right, got it. I'll log off.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Hi, Hedmong.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. Let me put you in a brief mute. Good afternoon, Mr. Manuel. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, Mr. Manuel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. My name is Herman Cure. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer for the Town of Miami Lakes. Welcome to the meeting.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Zoom interface?
¿Cómo?
Are you familiar with the Zoom interface, the controls, how to mute or you mute yourself?
I can mute myself. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm gonna do, we're already streaming, so we're gonna put you in mute until we have more participants, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let you unmute or you mute yourself.
Okay.
Thank you. Jeremy, can you hear me?
Herman, he just stepped out. How can I help?
Okay. Danny, question. What is the right name of this? Is this a committee? Committee meeting? I just want to make sure that I put
an
it.
advisory board meeting.
I'm not sorry. Can you repeat that?
Advisory board.
Advisory. Okay, I'm just gonna put AB. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Baena. Hope all is well.
Mr. Manuel, can you unmute yourself? Let me see if we can get done. You see the controls of unmute? I'm gonna unmute yourself. Give a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Okay. Yes. Question. What device are you using? An iPad, an iPhone, or a computer, a laptop?
No, I use the computer.
Okay. Do you see on your left bottom part, you should see like an icon that looks like a phone that says mute. If you move your screen, your mouse, just move your mouse and you should be able to see the bottom menu where you see the different icons and options that you have for the meeting.
Okay, the mute? Yeah. What?
Okay, so whenever you would like to speak, just hit mute or unmute, and when you finish, just make sure that you unmute yourself or mute
Okay.
yourself. I'm sorry. That way we don't hear background.
So let me try it now.
Okay, go ahead, please. Perfect. So right now I cannot hear you. So go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, I got it.
Perfect. Here we go. You're good to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, Manny. It's Jeremy here, just checking in with you. Good to see you. Ramon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Manny's telling me that I have an echo on his end.
Yeah, I'm over here.
You there, Manny?
Okay. I'm going back to mute. Okay.
And we're still waiting for everyone else.
Okay.
Herman, how am I sounding?
Good? All good.
All right.
Armand, do we currently have anybody waiting to get in?
I just got one person at this moment. Jesus Mendoza, I'm about to meet.
Okay, because I have Elsa Borgoya who had sent me her Zoom ID now, but it looks like she's trying to invite me to her room. Let me send this back to her.
Armand,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to be sharing my screen. I just wanted to let you know. So I guess when that time comes, that you give me the permission to be able to do it, or I don't know what you have to do on your side.
So you're gonna be actively participating in the meeting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I will do, anyone that is gonna be participating, I'm gonna show the video, and whenever you are ready to share your screen, just let me know, and I make you the co-host so you can share the screen and everything.
Because I see there's a green button that says share screen. Would I be touching that and then, or clicking that to be able to share my screen, or you have to give me some kind
Correct. No, correct. What I'm gonna make you the co-host, so
Okay.
you will be able to. I will activate that share screen, so you can go and share your screen whenever you like.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Miss Elsa, can you hear me? Miss Elsa Bergoya, can you hear me?
Elsa, if
Miss
you can't hear us, you might need to go to the bottom left and click your audio to begin.
It's nothing like being in person, man.
I completely agree. I just saw how Elsa's audio was disconnecting.
I agree with you, Mr. How do you pronounce your last name?
Valina.
Vaina. I agree
Yeah.
with you, sir.
Yeah. There's nothing like being face to face, you know.
Armand,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me well? Because Danny's in his office like saying that my voice sounds a little muffled.
Yeah, you sound muffled, definitely.
Okay. I might have to switch over then to my phone.
Some
Yeah,
of
what
you
I
I
do,
can hear. Some of you I can hear pretty good. Others I can't hear now. Nothing. Huh?
Yeah, it might be because my computer's closed and my docking station is relatively far.
Yeah, what I usually do, Jeremy, if I can advise you, I always use my video, my laptop, and I call using my cell phone. The two separate audio. I don't like the audio from the laptops or computers.
For me, it might be the opposite. I might use video and call audio for my phone, and then
No, from your phone.
yeah, and then that way I can just I'll still come in through my computer, but just to view documents and be able to see that what you guys are screen sharing. So I'm not looking at my phone. So let me go ahead and call them on my phone so to transfer my audio and video there.
Okay.
I believe if you use your iPhone, you know, the voice doesn't come that good, you know.
Hi, Mr. Cruz, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, how are you?
Perfect. This is Germán Cure, the Chief Innovation Officer of Miami Lakes. So I'm going to put
Hi,
you in a
nice
brief
meeting
mute.
you. How are you?
Good, good, good. We can hear you perfectly, so I'm just going to put you in a brief mute while we get ready.
Perfect.
Thank you. Welcome. Miss Elsa, can you hear me? Miss Elsa, can you hear me?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Just give us a couple more minutes as we're trying to make some phone calls to get quorum to have this meeting tonight.
Homero.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, this is Germán from the town of Miami Lakes. Welcome to the meeting. I have you as Sara Gutierrez.
Yeah. My daughter was using the my iPad. It's Marco Gutierrez.
Michael Gutierrez?
Marcos Gutierrez, yes.
Marcos Gutierrez. Okay, perfect. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to put you in a brief mute. Hi, Mr. Romero. This is Germán again.
How are you, Herman?
Okay. I just want to check with you if you are comfortable with the controls. You know where to mute yourself?
Yeah. I'm very familiar with Zoom.
Okay, perfect. I have Miss Maria Barreto, but I don't have her in my roster. Is she part of the advisory board?
Maria is actually with the GRS, the Homeowners Association with Royal Oaks, but no, she's not a member of the board.
Okay, so it's part of the public.
Yeah, it's for public, correct. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We still need, I think, like 5 more people to have quorum, right? It's got to be at least 8.
Okay, something that we usually do, just only members of the board or the committee, we show on the screen.
Okay.
In case that you would like to call someone from the public, just let me know because they're going to be hidden.
Okay, sounds good. I totally agree with that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, we've got Will.
Homero, how many more? We need 5?
We need 4 more, 8 out of the 14, which I think we only have 13 out of the 14 because we're still missing somebody from the west outside of Royal Oaks. So I think with 7 we might be able to. We're gonna have to ask man.
We got Willie there. Huh?
Yeah, so far 4.
Howdy.
So we need at least
everyone.
3 more.
How about Jesus Mendoza? Jesus?
Jesus, yeah, and I mean, it was sent out to everyone, so there's no excuses to be here.
Yeah, Jeremy told me Expo was on. Jeremy, you there?
Hey, Mark, this is Daniel. Jeremy's actually on the phone making phone calls with the other board members.
Right, to make sure we get a quorum.
Yes, sir.
Danny, and how many do we need for quorum?
So we have 13 that have been sworn in, so we'll need 7.
7. Okay.
Okay,
Hey,
well,
Jesus,
Three more.
here. I just wanted to check if you can hear me.
yes, I can hear you.
No.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'll go back on mute.
All right, I believe we already have 7 members online. Elsa, can you hear me? I think we're having an issue with Elsa's audio.
Yeah, I've been trying to get her response, but unsuccessful.
We're going to try to give her a call. Just give us 1 more minute. Thank you all for your patience. How about Barbara? Barbara, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Perfect. Loud and clear. Elsa, if you could hear me, I'm going to provide you a phone number where you could dial in because we're having an issue with your audio. So if you could hear me, I'm going to repeat this number. 1-929-205-6099. The phone number is 1-929-205-6099.
Can I chime in and let her know if you could text her, she could actually tap directly from her mobile.
Mr. Anson, can you hear me?
Mr. Anson. Oh, I think he's still connecting.
Yes, still connecting.
Yeah, he's still trying to connect to the audio.
Yeah, it seems like it's spinning a little bit there.
Yeah, might be the connection.
Okay, so we're only 2 away. We got 5. So that's it.
I think Jesus, well, Barbara is on the other screen, and Elsa, and I think Jesus was there.
Great.
So we got 8.
Yeah, if we get Elsa's audio working, that would be fantastic, because we'll have a full 8. Anson, can you hear us?
Sorry, having some issues. I'm good now.
Perfect.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
Are you guys waiting on me?
I think we're waiting for Elsa. We got Barbara, which that makes 6. Elsa will be 7. And I don't know if Jesus is connected or not.
Okay, cool.
So we're almost there.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started because we have 7. Jeremy's going to go ahead and get Elsa a call to see if we can connect her by phone. But we're going to start off with Lorenzo Covilla, the Deputy Town Attorney. He just has some rules and procedures regarding virtual Zoom meetings.
Good evening, members of the special taxing district and neighborhood. I always forget the name. What is NSD, right?
NSD.
Service District. There we go. Thank you for all being here tonight. This is a different forum, so just quickly, I just want to go over just a couple of rules of procedure. So the most important thing is just watch your decorum. This is all being recorded. This is all live. This is all be kept as a public record. Anything you say, anything you do is a public record. So you're still subject to those same rules. Because it's sunshine, it requires that a majority of you be present in order to fulfill quorum and in order to also be able to have a meeting. Members of the public can speak, but they don't necessarily. What we've been doing for the meetings, since this is Zoom, is, and according to our rules, they go ahead and they have the ability to speak at the beginning of the meeting, any public comments that you want to take, and then after that, you can go ahead and into your meeting. The device, Zoom, offers the ability to raise your hand, but what's been actually pretty practical is for the chair to go around and unmute one person at a time and ask them if they have any comments after the presentation and after any motions are presented. So it's a little bit more detailed than a regular meeting, but you guys shouldn't have a problem. Now, a matter of that's really important is that and this is especially for the staff to keep aware, is that if at any point in time this meeting is disrupted for whatever reason, you have to stop the meeting and you cannot continue the meeting until connection is resumed on our website. That way people are constantly being able to see this meeting since it is a public meeting. Okay, and other than that, everything else stays the same. Are there any questions you may have?
No, I think it's all clear.
Okay, perfect. Hope you all have a wonderful meeting.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Covilla. Mr. Chair, the floor is yours. We do have an agenda, so if you want to just go ahead and roll right down that, and we'll get this started.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and nice seeing you, a lot of you guys, for almost 8 weeks now. So let's call to order. Who wants to call that? I do that, or somebody from the town will call to order?
You call to order, Mr. Cruz.
Okay, so I'm calling to order Mr. Manny Vagina. Okay, right now, go ahead and unmute your mic so they can hear you, Manny. So,
Here.
Manny Vagina, Marcos Gutierrez,
Present.
Anson Christensen, William Garcia.
Present.
Okay, Barbara Paez. Barbara was here. I know she was there.
She's mute.
Okay, she's here. Elsa Bergoya. Is she's been able to listen to us? I know she's there. And what about Jesus Mendoza? Is Jesus there? Jesus Mendoza. Yeah, he's there. Okay, so we do have a quorum. So with that said, public comments. We all know that it's limited to 3 minutes. I know we have Maria that is somewhere in here. I don't know if Maria has anything to say on the public comments.
And Mr. Cruz, just for the record, we also have some town staff before you get started with the public comments. Myself, Daniel Angel, Director of Parks and
That's right. That's right. I'm sorry, Danny. Yeah, I forgot about you guys.
Not a problem. We also
Daniel.
Melissa Hernandez, the budget officer for the town.
Okay.
And then Jeremy
Well-
Bagdown, the Special Projects Manager for the town.
Hi, Jeremy. And
Good seeing you
Lorenzo
guys.
was there. Okay. Nice seeing you guys. So I see Elsa there now. Perfect. So we're all here.
So we have Elsa joining in now at 6:51. Elsa, can you hear us? Give me a thumbs up. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
there we go.
Loud and clear. Perfect. So we do have a quorum. So with that said, we can go ahead and go to public comments. I know we have Maria was somewhere in there. Maria, is there anything you want to say? Now is the time.
Hi guys. I just want to thank everyone for being here to the interest that you have for the Royal Oaks, and the town have, even though during these times, have also helped us with the cleaning of the guardhouses and the ending of the streets and all that. So I want to thank you guys. The communication has still been there, and I want to thank everyone for that. And let's hope we can continue and stay safe. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Maria, for being
Thank you,
here
Maria.
one more time. So anyone else with public comments, or that's about it? I think we only have Maria. I didn't see anyone else. So we can go ahead and go with number 4, old business. Let's go to the guard gate equipment upgrade and update. Any update, guys?
Yeah, so we've actually been in contact and working with our building department to start pushing the install of the new guard gate systems. They got stuck a little bit, as you could have guessed, during this COVID pandemic. But we actually have gotten word that they've been pushed through a majority of their permits, and we're actually looking for an approval by the end of this week, with install potentially commencing this week. Once I have a finite update as far as a pass-through permitting, our guard gate vendor has all of the gates already in their warehouse, and they are ready to go at our dispatch. So looking forward to having that completed and getting that out of the way, and hopefully less calls about guard arm complaints.
Jeremy, let's say that we do get that permit issued by the building department, let's say Wednesday. They're ready to come in and start working on Thursday. How long will it take them to do all 4 entrances?
They were looking at just about, they didn't want to give me a finite number, but they were saying 6 to 8 per arm. So you're looking
Okay.
at potentially 3 to 4 days probably of work.
So 3 to 4 days per gatehouse, right?
Correct.
Okay, no, that's fair. That sounds about right.
And
Guys,
once I give
any
them,
questions?
once I actually give them a start date and they can see their staffing, they'll be able to give me a more finite completion date.
Okay, sounds good. So you think by Wednesday we might have a permit? Hopefully, yeah?
That's what I'm hoping for. Me and Danny are visiting on our days here in Town Hall.
I know.
We're checking in and helping push papers around.
Let's see if I can make a phone call to the building department tomorrow and see if I can help a little bit. I gotta call them anyway for something else, so let's see. Any questions from the members to either Jeremy or Danny or anyone here? Manny?
Yeah, let's not push it, let it, take the time to do a good job, we spending a lot of money on it, So might as well do a good job. And if it takes a week, you know. We're waiting already 3 months, you know, so another week.
Oh, and with that, one of the updates is thankful that we have Daniel Angel and his negotiating services. We actually brought down the price of the total for our guard gate arms about $1,500, 14 and change.
Great.
So Danny was able to help us out and negotiate that down with our vendor. Seeing how it was 10 arms, not 9, like I had mistakenly put in our budget preview. So
Perfect.
Definitely good on that.
Great job, Danny. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Anything else, guys, on the guard gates equipment?
No, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm still fielding calls on residents that give me calls about certain gate arms that are out. We're still in this hold with the permitting. We've still dispatched our repairs vendor and making sure that what can be fixed is getting fixed.
Okay, perfect. So, great. So let's go to item B, which is the update on maintenance items, which is pressure washing, bathroom repairs, lighting, and windows and doors. What do you have?
So we finalized, unfortunately it was last week, pressure washing, just because our vendor had missed one dead end spot, but they were able to get out there within 2 days and finalize that. So all pressure washing of the actual guard gates and those dead ends within our districts have been pressure washed. Our bathroom has had some issues. We've replaced some very simple fixes, toilets and lighting inside the bathrooms. We did get made aware today through our security vendor, as they send us inspections every week or so. There is one issue in one bathroom that handyman is looking at this week. So hopefully that is going to be resolved, if not tomorrow, by the end of the week. With regards to lighting, we've had some issues with a lot of lights being outdated. So we've swapped out some lights, and we are still being made aware of any lights that are faulty. I do know that we're replacing 2 actual light systems, not just the bulbs, at 2 of our guardhouses. Hopefully, like I said, it's done this week, but we're working with handyman closely on that. In regards to the windows and doors items, our handyman was able to pressure wash and completely clean out the doors, so they are swaying and closing properly now. Years and years of sweeping whatever they had inside into the track was just clogging that track. So our guys were able to clean it out, a little bit of WD-40, which works for everything. And then windows, we have already placed blinds on the more standard size windows. We're waiting now to get the custom window blinds on these smaller, thinner windows that we have there. Hoping for that to be finalized, hoping for sizes to come in this week, and then hopefully have them furnished and installed for next week.
Perfect. Any questions, guys, on those 4 items? Are we okay with them? Has any of you guys drive by the guard houses or the end streets and take a look at the pressure washing? Or nobody has been able to go out?
162nd Street, I haven't, see anything.
I personally
You haven't
seen
noticed,
anything.
you haven't seen anything or noticed anything?
No, the lights are still hanging in the air, the wall. Coming loose, completely loose.
Right.
What gate arm is that? I mean, what guardhouse?
That's Northwest 162nd Street.
Coming out of Royal Oaks,
Yeah.
Right. On the west. What about 168? I usually come in through there, and I haven't seen any issues with it. How about you guys on the east, on 79th, and 168 going east?
Yeah, I usually go out on 167th going west. I don't see any issues there. I'll be more than happy to pop in there tomorrow and make sure that was cleaned correctly. 79th, I have not checked it out. I usually don't come in after there. I come in through the 167th.
I will drop by 162nd Street tomorrow morning and check it out. The guard gate, yeah, guardhouse.
Okay. Jeremy, let's say that we go out there tomorrow and we go by the by each gatehouse. and by the end streets to see the columns, the iron gates. And let's say we have comments, how do we address that?
Email me directly.
Email you directly, right?
Email me directly, and I'll work with whatever vendor, and I'll make sure that anything you guys bring to my attention gets looked at.
We can take some picture of it with the phone, you know.
Yeah, that will be a great idea, Manny. If we can take pictures and make sure that we can point out the areas or if there's anything.
You know, but they should advise the guard there that we're going to drop by just in case they won't allow us to go inside the guardhouse. You know.
Okay. I have a question.
For the most part,
they're pretty friendly.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, they're pretty friendly. Usually, at least the ones on the east side. If you introduce yourself, you let them know who you are. I don't think they'll give you any issue with that.
The one at 162nd Street, she's very nice too. One in the morning.
I agree. I haven't seen any issues either. Jeremy, any idea or I don't know if this is something that I don't recall that we discussed the item of repainting the guard houses and
That's
those columns.
We can go ahead and look at now as we look at potentially future budget and what we have left now. So
Okay.
we'll talk a little bit more about what we can do with our funds.
Okay.
But I just wanted to make sure that, thank you for bringing that to my attention, Manny. I'll double check because the only thing I was aware of, I believe, was that 162nd light fixture needs to be changed completely. We've swapped out, I want to say 4 or 5 bulbs already, but that system needs to actually change the housing.
You know, they have that light, you know, coming out of the wall. You know.
Yeah, on the front end.
Yeah.
Okay. But if there's anything else, guys, at any times, feel free to send me an email. If you got my phone number, give me a call. Me and Danny are here to get results, to provide results. So whatever it takes.
Okay. If every one of us can do that tomorrow, guys, and send an email out to Jeremy, that will be great. So like that, we can go back and start worrying about the guard gate and the installation of the equipment and all that. So is there anything else with these 4 items that we need to go over? Will, Jesus, Barbara, Elsa, Aaron,
No issue
Anson, I'm
here.
sorry. We're okay?
No issue here.
Okay. So then let's move forward with number 5, new business. And the new business, what's going on, Jeremy, with the LPs, with the cameras and all that? I know with all this pandemic and the coronavirus, what's the status with that, Danny?
Yeah, hi. Good evening, Daniel Angel for the record. So the manufacturer is based out of California.
Okay.
Completely shut down. We are first priority as soon as they do open up that warehouse. And once they do that, we're looking at about a 2 to 3 week lead time to get them fully installed. So I'll put in another email over to California to see what's going on with that. But as of right now, I can tell you right now, I think the warehouse is still closed due to COVID.
Yeah. California hasn't opened up yet. So, and they said after they open up, 3 weeks to.
Yeah, so we'll get it shipped and it'll be installed within 2 to 3 weeks that we receive it here in South Florida.
Once we get them here, how long would it take the company that's doing the installation and have them ready?
It's a couple days. It's a pretty quick install.
Okay. That's perfect. I can't wait for that. Look at Manny. Anyone else with any questions on the LPs, or we're okay with that? Any new business that you guys want to bring in? Like the painting of the guardhouses, the columns, the iron, or anything else? Bring it on now.
Nice, you know. So, you know, if we can afford to have some paint, you know, for the guardhouses, that'd be nice, you know. Make it nice. After we put the guard, you know, the rails and everything, so everything will look nice, you know. And fix a little bit of landscaping in the front, you know.
Okay.
If we got the money, you know, that's the problem.
Yeah, we're going to go over those numbers with the base budget review on the new business. Do we keep the same color for the guardhouses, the iron work, or do we bring it a little bit up, down, change the color? What do you guys think? Touch it, leave it the way it is? Elsa, okay.
I think if we can change the color, not too far, not to deviate too much from what it is, but at least so that we notice that it's painted and it looks fresh. And like Manny said, if we can refresh the landscaping a little bit, kind of like change the curve up to all the dark gates, that would be great.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because bringing in the gates and giving it a nice facelift, I think people will say, wow, something's happening here. Yeah, perception is reality.
Okay, so
And
how do we do? What do we do, Jeremy, with like maybe what choose three colors?
So
And
today's real discussion on the budget is so we can take a look. That's why we have our budget officer here.
Okay.
We're gonna go through what we would propose for the 2021 base budget. With that, in certain items, our infrastructure and contingency and stuff like that, we can set aside these projects and discuss them at a later time in depth. But the main focus of today is to go ahead and try to solidify and start working our budget for that 2021 season coming up. So with that, what I would like to do is go ahead and hand it over to Melissa, who's going to take us through our individual line items for both of our respective districts. We'll go through everything. We'll see where the money is, what we have things anticipated for. And at that point, once we have this approved, we can start looking at those projects and going over the scope, the details, and what we want to get done in our districts.
Okay, perfect. Does everyone have a copy that Jeremy sent out of the budget? Handy with you guys there so we can go over? Okay.
And then Melissa will be screen sharing, so you can click on
That
her,
would be great.
and you'll be able to see as she takes us through it.
Perfect.
Good
Okay,
evening.
Melissa, it's all
everyone.
yours.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm about to share my screen. Bear with me. Oh. Can you all see?
Yes.
So you see where it says Royal Oak Section 1? Is that what you see?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So in column B, you have the name of your accounts. Column D here is what was actually spent in the last fiscal year. Column G is your actual budget as of today.
Okay.
Column I is your year-end projection on how you're going to end this current fiscal year. And column N is what's being proposed for the next fiscal year. And on column O is the comments in reference to what is proposed for your budget. So we're going to begin here on line 118, which is the collection of all the assessments for your district. You have 589 units within your district, and your current assessment rate is $706, which was reduced by $93 in the previous fiscal year. This $20,000, it's for those who pay early. It's a 5% adjustment.
Liz, excuse me?
Yes, sir.
Are we talking about both districts or are we talking about the west side now?
Right now, we are only talking about Section 1. Once we discuss Section 1, we will then move on and discuss the east side.
Okay, perfect. Got it. All right.
Okay. What we're projecting to carry forward based on your year-end projection is $59,000 into the next fiscal year. Now, that could be less or it could be more depending on how you end the year with your expenses. Remember that this is just a projection. So this may be reduced next year or it may increase depending on how this column ends the year. You're tracking with me, everyone?
Yeah. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Now we're going to move into the operating security expenses. This is your total revenue that you will be expecting or projecting for next year based on what I just mentioned was the budget carry forward. So moving into our operating security costs, we have $300,000 plus holiday, which the town recognizes 12 holidays, and those employees get paid time and a half for those holidays. For a total of $305,000 just on security guard expenses. Then moving along into our administrative costs, we have $13,000 of direct costs, which is for your liaison for the neighborhood service districts. And then we have $30,000 of indirect costs, which is an 8.5% of your operating expenses. what entails your indirect costs? Your indirect costs entails, for example, myself, Daniel, our finance department processing invoices for our security guard and other expenses that you have, having our town attorney present and being able to facilitate in this conversation in any way possible. So that's what makes up these administrative expenses. Then we have our regular operating expenses, which, as you can see here, there are notes to kind of guide how we came up with each of these expenses, or each of these expenses. Let me see. So we have $3,120 for our weekly janitorial services, which is $30 per guardhouse a week. And then we have our COVID-19. As of right now, we're projecting it for the entire year because we really don't know what's going to happen. If you notice, we have it for less here in our year-end projection because this started once the fiscal year had already begun.
Right.
So we're projecting that perhaps this may continue on. So just to be safe, we are accounting for it for the entire year. It's a disinfectant spray that's done 3 times a week to each guardhouse to protect the employees that are there. Moving along, you have your telephone services, $40 a month, electricity, water, repair and maintenances to the guardhouses or the arms. There's a little note here as well. I'm sorry, not to the gate equipment is here, my bad. So you have the $8,000 for these different items here, $4,000 for ground maintenance, $1,000 for pressure cleaning, $1,000 for electrical repairs, and $2,000 for handyman. Also $400 for your extermination services. And then you have the guardhouse repairs, $1,600 for a new button system, $3,000 for signage, $2,825 for emergency LED boom replacement. $200 for mail out in case there is a straw ballot. If you decide to have a capital expense that exceeds 15% of the operating budget. $500 for legal notices to residents of any changes that may occur to the district. $3,000 for new transponders for residents. And you have a $13,000 expense for the software for the LPRs that are being installed in your guardhouses, leaving a total of $48,000 for your operating costs. Now, we do have a resolution 20-1654, section 26, that indicates you must have a 10% contingency reserve. So that would make up $41,000. After all of these expenses, what you are left with is $8,000. So I placed it in your capital outlay infrastructure.
Okay.
Now, that is up for your discussion on what you would want to use those funds for. So I leave it to you now. If you have any other questions, please, this would be the time to ask so I can answer.
Okay, guys, any questions for Melissa?
So the 10%, is this what we are required by law? It's got to be a fixed 10. Can it be more?
I'm sorry, could you repeat your question?
So you mentioned that we are required to have 10% in reserve.
Yes, sir. It's by resolution. The council approved that. Resolution 20-1654, section 26, it discusses that.
So this is a requirement. Could that amount be higher?
That is up to your discretion and to the discretion of the council once this budget is approved by them.
Yeah, William, to answer your question, the minimum requirement is 10%. So yeah,
Right.
if you want to put 30%, 40%, absolutely. But the minimum requirement is the 10% for the resolution.
Thank you.
I have a
Anyone
question
else?
online. Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so on line 145, the equipment repairs, if we are charging the people that break the equipment, where would that revenue or that cash flow will go into this budget?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so like, Yeah, if somebody breaks the arm gate, right? We had said in prior meetings that we're planning to implement a fee for the people that break the equipment. Where would those funds go? Will go into this line item?
Well, if you're planning to charge someone a fee for that, that would have to be a specific revenue line item, because that would be money that you're receiving. So we would have
Right.
to a revenue line item for that. So it would need to be up here. That would be something we would have to discuss internally on how that would look. But if it's a fee that you're charging, that's a revenue.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, if you look at the revenue, they charge for the transponders up there $3,000, and then they take in liability $3,000, so it's a wash. So we're kind of
Right.
transponders work, correct, Melissa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, essentially what we'll do is we'll create that revenue account, but we have to, once break, we have to purchase it. So in order for us to purchase it, we have to encumber the fund from an expense account. But once we do receive that revenue from whoever breaks it, we'll place it in that revenue fund up top somewhere.
Correct.
Yeah,
So that
the-
expense account will serve as the way we can get an immediate response while we go back and deal with the legalities of recurring the funds from the individual who broke the gate arm.
Yes.
Yeah, the funding needs to be in place so we can go ahead and
Yes.
replace it and pay for it.
Yes.
And then we'll worry about charging whoever broke the arm and how we're going to go about the town getting back the money from these people.
Right, exactly. And I just wanted to make sure that we're capturing it.
Yeah, but the idea is that, yes, if they break it, they're going to pay for it.
Right.
They have to pay for it.
And that's why we added that signage. If you see their signage for $3,000, because we're gonna get nice sign postage
Right.
set up for the district to make sure that it's something that's legible, it's something that's easy to read, and people know the consequences as they drive through your community.
Exactly right. Yeah, so they won't say, I didn't see the sign, or nothing was posted there that if I break the gate, I have to pay for it.
Guys, I got one question on the janitorial service. That's what we were before, right? About $30 a week.
Yes.
So now, in addition to that, there's a new requirement of an additional COVID janitorial service. That's an additional meaning, or they just step it up? They do.
As far as I know, I'm sure that Jeremy or Daniel can speak to this after. As far as I know, the janitorial service is just a regular cleaning that they do. Now, the COVID-19 is a specific disinfectant spray that is done 3 times a week to the guardhouse.
So it's an adjustment in both the scope of what's being sprayed as well as the frequency. So yes, it is something outside of our base janitorial contract.
And the vendor that provides the security staff, they don't do anything in regards to that. The reason why I'm asking is because I do, in my personal life, I do provide services for clients, and the clients expect for the service provided to do some of the disinfecting. So I was wondering if the provider can help with some of that cost.
So it is the same provider who just basically we added in additional services using as close as we can to our contract figures. So it's still the same company. It's just increasing the frequency and some of the actual products that we're using.
Got it.
I guess with that item, it is what it is due to the circumstances.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that we're accounting for it here. Right?
Yeah, we're doing something about it, which is great.
Yep.
And they're doing it 3 times a week. So,
And then one item, talking about that, with these COVID-19 expenses, obviously we're going to be doing our due diligence and looking for reimbursement, whether it be through FEMA and or the state government for anything COVID related. They've obviously released a lot of funds at the federal levels, slowly trickling down to us. So we are making sure, that's why you'll see it project coded for COVID-19. We're tracking anything attached to that COVID-19
to make sure what is eligible is going to be reimbursed.
Okay, good.
That's good.
Perfect.
And item 145 is not going to be recurring. That's one-time charge.
Correct.
There's quite a few other lines that are just contingencies, right? Like the printing and binding, that's a contingency.
Yeah, to some degree it is.
Yeah.
But we budget for it because we don't know if you're going to need to have a mail out or if we're going to have to send out legal notices.
Right, so you have it there just in case to allow
Yes.
for it'll come
We
back.
have it earmarked, yes.
Yeah, and I know it's ridiculous because it's only $500, but does anybody ever use the telephone card houses?
Yes, they do. We have actuals from last year right here. You see on 138D,
Yep.
that's the telephone services for last fiscal year.
No, I see the telephone service. What I'm saying is that telephone used quite often. Does the town communicate, like when there's an issue? Do they call SFM or do they actually call guard? I'm just saying, just out of curiosity. That phone.
I've received phone calls from both, from the SFM directly cell phones, and I've received calls from the actual guards themselves to report issues. So I've heard from both.
Okay, perfect. So it's used. That's good. Perfect. All right.
So they can call the police, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Any other questions?
Nope. I think we're all clear with that, guys. So then that means we're gonna have a leftover of around $18,000 for section 1 projected.
Yes, well, that's not including your reserve, but.
Correct. Yeah. Without touching the reserve, because you gotta have that 10% there.
Yes, you will have.
Unless we want to raise it to 15 or 20.
So if the reserves are not used in the fiscal year, what happens with those funds? They roll over to the next fiscal year?
Yep.
They will roll over to the next year. Yes.
Okay.
You won't lose anything.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna if you don't have any other questions about Royal Oaks Section 1, I'm gonna move on now to Royal Oaks East.
Yeah.
We made an effort to have these two budgets match. And in that effort to make both of these budgets match, we reduced the assessment rate to the same assessment rate as Royal Oaks Section 1. So the assessment rate for Royal Oaks East, we are reducing it by $62. Again, this is just a proposal. This is up for your discussion and once again, up to the pleasure of the council to vote on this.
Okay.
So the special assessment now, after the reduction, will be 77. And again, we take out 5% for those who pay early. This is for the transponders. As you all know, this is what the projected carryover is based on, once again, the year end. It could be more than 101. It could be less than 101. That will all be contingent upon how you end this current year. So these are just projections. The guard service is the same as above. It's the same vendor. The same goes for the administrative costs. It's the same as above because we made it a point to make the operating expenses the same.
Okay.
The only difference from this budget and the other is that your assessment rate is being reduced. And because of the fact that you have this current district had a little bit more contingency, your infrastructure amount is a little bit more as well. And then that affects your contingency reserve, 10%.
Your
At this
10%.
time, then this would be the same amount as Royal Oaks Section 1. So you can see the notes are pretty much identical. The amounts here, the only things that are different is your contingency amount and your infrastructure amount in comparison to Royal Oaks Section 1. Any questions? Is there something that you would like for me to elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, so basically, in order for it to be pretty close to the other side, we'd have to give back $62 per household on the east side.
you wouldn't be giving necessarily 62 back. The assessment rate would just be reduced. So you would be
Right.
saving they would be saving $62 in this coming year. Because the assessment rate before was, give me 1 second, was $769.
Right. Right. So it would make it even, which is the goal that we had as a board or as an advisory board. Okay.
So that was what was communicated to me. So I did my best to try to.
Yeah, I think it worked out pretty good. I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks good. So between the two of them, we're talking 22 and 18. That's about $40,000.
And we're replacing the gates
Without the reserve.
Yeah. Right.
If you add the reserve, it's a lot more.
Right.
Right.
But,
Yeah, gentlemen, with this budget, basically for both districts, what we've done is, and with the hard work of this board, we've purchased new gate arms with new
Yes.
booms. We purchased LPR systems, and we have an ongoing annual maintenance with that. We have a system in place now where we're going to be pressure washing all these columns and gates and the guardhouses. We've also established a ground maintenance program to trim. You have those common areas where those gates are at. We're also adding this to this budget as well too. So aside from that, you have pretty much ongoing maintenance with some capital improvements going into this future year for whatever improvements you decide as a board.
And this also accounts for the maintenance cost of the maintenance cost of the LP, not the maintenance,
The software.
the software at the annual, it accounts
Yes.
here. Right?
Yep,
Right.
it's right here.
Yeah, it's there. It's on the
Yes.
$13,000.
Right.
Both of them include that $13,000.
Yep.
Okay, great. No, I think that's good. And if we, just my opinion, if you take a little bit of that monies that we have there to, like we said, little fresh coat of paint and
And a little bit of the landscaping to upgrade it a little bit, I think we'll be okay.
And to Danny's point, not only new equipment, we're gonna have less maintenance costs because of that new equipment. It's gonna look a lot nicer. There's gonna be a visual improvement, a much higher feature with the LPRs. It's unbelievable, right?
Something that we talked about on new business a couple of months ago with the signage. Is there something we want to do on those entrances to make sure that they're coming into Royal Oaks? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm in support of that, and I think we also, with the LPRs, we're upgrading the current technology to take advantage of the capabilities that are in the market today. And I just had a question. With some of the improvements that we're doing, can we tap on the grant, the matching grant that the town has? Where some of these improvements will qualify for that as well?
My understanding, William, is that that's a beautification matching grant. So it would have to be some type of beautification enhancement. What I've seen in the past is a common area that gets beautified or enhanced. I don't think there's been anything that's awarded technology improvements, but we could always check it out and let you guys know.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about painting and landscaping, changing the curb appeal, and I think that would make it qualify for the grant.
But what we're going to do is, once we're done with this, again, we're looking at the budget for next fiscal year. Next week, Jeremy and I will sit down and we'll start reviewing our year-end projections to see what improvements we can do with your existing budget. And we'll go ahead and move forward. Obviously, if the price is right, we'll come back to you if there's any discussion that you guys want to have regarding color changes, color palettes, things like that. But aside from that, we're trying to find some money to get as many improvements done this fiscal year.
Danny and Jeremy, another thing that we discussed previously was we have a few cul-de-sacs in Royal Oaks East and West. And for some reason, they were expecting the association to pay for the curbing and the landscaping on those areas. and we discussed that that should be by the town public works, because those roads, they're owned by the town. I don't think it's fair for the association to carry the expenses of maintaining the landscaping area on those cul-de-sacs and the curbing that is, some of them they have to be replaced completely. They're all broken up, the concrete.
So, Mr. Cruz, just to answer that, you're absolutely correct. That is a public street. Actually, the Public Works Department has a work order to repair some of those that have been damaged, been brought to our attention. As far as the enhancements are concerned, we do have a master plan to enhance all 51 cul-de-sacs in the town of Lakes with zero-scape landscaping. Unfortunately, that is a beautification line item that was unfunded this fiscal year, but we are taking every opportunity to at least get proposals on that. So once we do have the funding, we can move forward. But we do have about 51 of those cul-de-sacs that unfortunately they don't have the proper irrigation. So they stay bare, they stay dry, they stay, dormant during the winter season. But we are going to be making these improvements with zero-scape planting that's shade tolerant. It doesn't need irrigation, and there is a plan to do the entire town. Hopefully, with this new budget season moving into next fiscal year, we could add that as one of our beautification enhancements for the town, because there's several areas that are in need of that. We'll look into that to see if that's something that we could accommodate. Obviously, outside of your budget, this is something that's going to come out of the general budget.
Sounds good, Mr. Angel. Now, guys, question to the board. You heard from Mr. Angel. What about now, since we have some money, do we want to fix this year, which they don't have a budget for that, under the fiscal year? Do we want to do anything as far as landscaping is concerned on those cul-de-sacs that belong to Royal Oaks?
Could we be specific on what those locations are?
I know on the west, I think we have 2 cul-de-sacs. I don't know on the east.
Mr. Cruz, and I hate to interject, but I think the ordinance, when you guys were established as a security guard district, prohibits any monies being spent toward any beautification enhancements. I will verify that, but I want to say that your budget is specific to security guard and security guard needs. Now, we do have common areas that we do maintain, that's part of your thing, but as far as beautification enhancements, I think that would be outside of your jurisdiction.
It'll be outside the scope of that work. Okay.
But we'll
makes sense.
We'll look into that.
Look into it anyway, because... So anything else on new business, guys?
Well, we can do if you guys and gals, and I keep on using guys, but we do have
guys and gals. That's right. Sorry about that.
If you guys want to go ahead and make a motion to approve the budgets as presented for each district, so that way we're ready to process and move forward with our deadlines here internally.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the budget as is. Anybody else second the motion?
I second that.
Okay, we'll second the motion.
So it's up for any discussion. Yeah, now we'll move to go into discussion.
Any discussions on the motion, guys, girls? Everyone okay with it?
Yes.
So everyone in favor? Aye.
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 Motion passes. Everyone.
Bye.
So anything else for today, or we're okay?
I think we're
7:35.
Excellent. You got a motion to adjourn it.
So motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Guys and girls. Marco second the motion.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Everyone in favor? Aye.
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 Aye. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good evening. Stay safe.
It was a pleasure.
Okay.
Have a good day, everyone.
If there's anything else you guys need, feel free to
See
email
you
me or call
soon.
me.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.